Hey everybody, welcome to Lolcow Live. We got another episode for you today with Boogie2988 and Mr. Wings of Redemption. How you doing, cows?
Moo.
Oh, I'm sorry. A little disappointed to tell you we're supposed to have Action Man. That's the guy we're supposed to have on. He had a doctor's appointment, got double booked or something like that. It's no big deal. Hopefully we get him on again. He seems like a really interesting guest. I got some great questions for him, I think. But this time we're gonna have to. I guess we have to wing it, fellas.
That's okay. There's some good stuff to talk about this time. I got some stuff.
Before everybody crucify me because this is the second week we have without a guest, I be trying out here, but I feel like the name of the show actually messes with us a lot because like I tried to get Josh Moon to come on. Josh said basically this, like he doesn't want to promote Keemstar, and I was like, oh no, Keemstar won't be here. It's just gonna be me, Tommy C, and Boogie, and he's also like, you know, Keem owns it, mate. And if you want to start covering drama, you should change your name. You know, just imagine if my podcast was named The Fat Retard Show. Hey, would you like to be a guest on The Fat Retard Show?
Josh doesn't seem like a guy that likes to have fun. I'm not. He's like, I guess if we're not talking about the serious issues of the internet, it's just not for him. Not a fun guy.
I think, okay, number one, if you had to moderate Kiwi Farms every day, do you think your life would be very fun? Like, I would want to eat a bullet 10 times a day.
He apparently likes that. Have you seen his fucking post, though? Like, he was upset trying to figure out ways to get Kiwi Farms back online because this is basically his life's work.
Proof, no fun. That sounds pretty boring to me.
Man, stalwart, dude. The man is super stalwart. Like he basically brought this thing back to life after Kefkels pretty much killed it.
I definitely want to talk about Kefkels a little bit today. Before we do, though, I don't understand why Josh wouldn't want to be here, and I'll tell you why. You just pitch it to people wrong, okay? Here's what you need to do, okay? The show is called the Lolcow Podcast. We are the cows. You pitch them and say, do you want to be a guest cow wrangler? Do you want to be a guest cowboy on the next episode? Put us in the hot seat, drill us, have fun doing it. And so then, because anybody that comes onto the show, they're going to come away, unless it's Keemstar, they're going to come away smelling like a rose. Somehow
Action
Keemstar
Man,
came out
next
of
guest wrangler. How about that? Action Man's the next guest wrangler. Here you go.
And let me say, Josh, I think genuinely I should come on the show because number one, I don't think he has any bad blood with any of us here.
He does. He doesn't like me.
He doesn't like. Oh, good. Let him come yell at you.
I don't care. I never had any problem with it. He said that I'm like the guy in a gangster movie that rats on everybody at the end or something. But he always confuses me with Tipster somehow. So I'm not sure. I have no issues with Josh whatsoever.
I mean, I would love to see Josh on here just because he's done me a favor. I think he's done Wings a favor because at the end of the day, people don't know this. But one of the things Josh is doing is kind of like running the asylum. And I think that 90% of people that are at Kiwi Farms are, and I said some bad things about Kiwi Farmers last week, so let me take a little tiny bit of it back, okay? I think 98% of the people that are on Kiwi Farms are there for as a joke, there for a laugh, there to have a good time, there to stare at the cows, right? And that's what this show is about. So that's not that different. But there is a small group of people that are so dangerous, so crazy, so wild, so weird that even Josh is like, I got to deal with this crazy person.
What about the dude that figured out DSP's social security number with just the 4 numbers that was given on his bankruptcy thing? It's like, what kind of special person is that, right? Where you got to sit there and like put in thousands and thousands of numbers until you find Phil's actual social security number. And then you go to his bank and like start like reverse engineering his bank stuff to get access to let people know that, hey, this guy's drinking a lot of Total Wine and eating DoorDash. You know, like just imagine that's your life. You're sitting there, obviously with Mountain Dew bottles and probably a piss cup, you know, going through like 4, 5, 8, 6, 4, click. 4, 5, 2, 3, 4, click.
Yeah.
Dude, you have a cum wall. That's what you got. You have a fucking cum wall. You have a wall that you bust nuts on next to a windowsill with cigarette ashes.
Oh, God, I figured out another figure. It is the social security number.
Oh, no.
I think you guys are projecting.
Piece of lore.
No, I am 100%.
Lore.
I am 100% projecting because I was on the route to be this burnt out of a person, but thankfully somebody gave me some.
Hold on. But there's a story here. But what were you doing that got you down to the incel rate?
Okay, so in 2000, when I was 15 years old, I was fat and weird and probably autistic, though, again, like I said, my diagnosis has now been debated widely, but I've had several therapists tell me I'm most likely autistic, but everybody treated me like shit in high school. And if I had not gone to Upward Bound, I was going to be that loner kid that lived with his mother for the rest of his life and got abused by that crazy witch and just did crazy abuse and sat on a computer all day and like hated people he saw online living a happier, better life than him.
Weren't you that person anyway? Like, didn't you run World at War guilds?
I did play World at War.
World of Warcraft or whatever the fuck that is.
Well, I mean, honestly, so I went to Upward Bound and I tried to reinvent myself as the fat, funny kid. The problem is I was very fat, but not funny, but fat enough to where I appeared funny to people who didn't have a real sense of humor. And I got laid for the first time, and that changed everything. But then when I broke up with that girl in my 20s, and we were like on again, off again, on again, off again. But I ended up becoming a shut-in for 7 more years. But because I could remember what was like, eventually I decided to get up off my fat ass and go find some more. And that was what kept me from just continuing. But during that 7 years, yes, I did nothing but play EverQuest, World of Warcraft, off in a chair. I certainly had a cum wall. I'm certain.
Ew.
I had a piss drawer. I had a cum drawer. A cum wall.
Did you say a piss drawer?
Box. A piss drawer. Everybody, you know these old.
Everybody has
right?
one, huh?
Yeah. Everybody has a piss drawer, a cum jar. No, cum
Nobody
wall.
has that.
Piss drawer.
Just digging in your
booger
nose,
box.
putting boogers underneath your chair.
I do remember one of the deciding factors of trying to decide to get back out of the world is I bought this chair from one of these closeout stores where they sold like irregular furniture with problems. And I bought one that had like bad stitching. It was weight rated for 500 pounds. And I sat at it and played EverQuest and World of Warcraft for like 12-hour days. And one day I was like leaning back in it and I was watching adult entertainment, you know, because even then, as sick as I was of it, you still do that from time to time to relieve a little stress after a bad EverQuest raid.
Just imagine that
and the chair broke. And like the big steel bolt built for 500-pound people to lock it into place fell, and I kind of went back, whoa, like that. I'm like, Jesus, I'm gonna have to get the fuck out of this chair, or I'm gonna die in it.
I just had a terrible thought, Boogie. Did like when you were out there beating your shit like that? Did you have to take your stomach and like move it out the way with one hand and beat it with the other?
No. I did have to turn to the side a little bit though. To get everything to shift.
By the way, this
left.
is not normal. But I just want to lady goes, everybody's got no, it's not everybody.
No. Everybody doesn't have like a Rolls Royce like meat curtain that kind of like hangs out there, prestigious dick.
Oh God Almighty! The point that I'm making is, I am a loser now, yes, but I have been a much bigger loser in other parts of my life. And Josh Moon has chosen a life where he has to moderate and watch out for the kind of crazy people that I could have been.
Keemstar thinks me and you are a handle. Just imagine what Josh Moon has to deal with. Like me and you are the dudes that kind of like escape the incel life.
Ugh. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure how far away I got. You know, I still get mad about video games all day, every day. You know.
Yeah, you know.
Is that what you?
I've never seen you as I've never seen you as a good video game player, though, Boogie.
No, but I'm still mad about it, man. Like I genuinely got mad earlier this week because of PlayStation. PlayStation had just came out and they said, "Well, we're done with this generation. We're gonna start winding things down." There's like 5 exclusives for this entire PlayStation generation. They made like 5 exclusive games that weren't also available on PlayStation 4 and also available on Xbox and everybody else. Like this entire console generation has been a complete and utter shit show. And I cannot believe I stood in line. No, yes, it is. I literally I made a video counting down the short list of videos, dude. I stood in line.
It's shorter than you think, is what I'm saying. It's like for like Horizon fucking like Going West or whatever the f- it is. That was actually designed around that was designed for the PS4. Yeah. Ragnarok was designed for the PS4. Miles Morales is just a PS4 game with a coat of snow.
I ain't in a position where I need to be pissing away $500 on anything right now, much less
my biggest thing is
dust in a living room. You know,
my biggest thing is PlayStation wants to put out a PlayStation 5 Pro for what? To play my PS3 games? Like, what do you want me to do with it?
For pros like you.
I do still read my comments, mostly so I can ban lunatics, but I do still read my comments. And like I saw, most people like agreed with the sentiment of the video, but some people are like, well, it's such a life upgrade. We got a faster hard drive, and we got, I would rather have $500, buddy. Why you paid $500 for a faster hard drive? How much PlayStation are you playing that's a big deal to you? I want games. And I get that it's better if we live in a world where there's no longer exclusive games you can play on any platform. And I get that that's eventually going to be the future, right? But then don't sell me a $500 console under the promise that you're going to develop me some unique and interesting games that are exclusive to your platform. That's why I bought the
You're even looking at the worst thing about the PlayStation 5 generation. That the allure of PlayStation 5 games made the charge go up to $70 from $60, and we got nothing for that.
Guys are losers, you know.
I'm just saying, I don't know what it is, but like that $10 hike made games feel out of reach to me. It's like, all right, 60, I'm used to 60. But that 70, it's like, oh, is this game really worth 70?
You're kind of right. I've turned down a few games because they're 70. I was like, I don't know.
Do you know what's stupid? It's just that $10 makes a huge difference to me. But then this week, Pokemon Go did like a super special event. And so I had to buy $10 worth of tickets on my Pokemon Go, and $10 on my girlfriend's Pokemon Go. Yeah, and so like I want these legendaries. I want to get these cool legendaries, and it gives me an excuse to get out of the house and do.
Connor,
but
do
like
this.
That $10.
Give me the red text. That
Why didn't you
pay
$20? Why didn't you pay a bill with that?
My bills are paid, son. $10 ain't gonna make a difference on my bills. What are you talking about?
This is the same motherfucker that's going to get a McDonald's.
Where do you get money from Pokemon? Where do you get money for Pokemon?
Where do I get money from Pokemon? I get money from Pokemon from making live streaming on Twitch and making YouTube videos and shit.
I thought you were broke.
I'm not broke. Listen, I'll be honest with you. Because of this podcast paying us, because my YouTube channel still gets
you're gonna blow all that money.
No,
you're gonna blow all that money too.
I am proud to say, because after going on Caleb Hammer and cutting back quite a bit, and still making room for $10 on Pokemon every month or so, but I'm cutting back very much. Earning more money, uploading more videos, live streaming more, making more content, getting paid through the podcast. I have, in the month of February, reached a broke-even part. This is the first time I've not had to sell cards or borrow money out of my savings. I broke even this month. I'm really excited about it. So the whole e-begging thing I did back in 2021 or however long it's been, 2022.
Hey guys, I'm rich. Hey guys, I'm broke.
I suck ass at e-begging myself. I need to get some Dark Side Field classes. You need to sell courses.
Yeah. You know, it's so funny because I recognize the names too, by the way. I'm not going to shout out the names because I don't remember them. But a couple of your trolls came into my live stream the other day, and they're like, here goes the e-begging. And I never talk about money on my live streams except maybe once or twice. I'm like, hey, guys, if you enjoy the stream, don't forget you can give me an Amazon Prime sub or whatever, you know. And I was doing Flip It or Rip It, where like somebody donated 2 subs. I would like rip part of a Magic product open. You know, it's just the game that people in the Magic community play. But they were like really ready to hate on me for like e-begging or something. And I just don't do that. So then they started like enjoying the stream. I was really excited about that. Yeah, they seemed to be like engaging with the stream in a non-trollish way. And I was really confused but excited about it. And we had a lot of fun. It was really fun.
I'd be excited if somebody kicked their daddy in the nuts so they won't get a fucking brother or sister with the same autism as them. like these people are degenerates.
It's a weird thing to want to do. Like, I don't have any time in my day, and I have a lot of time in my day, but I have no time in my day to go to the chat of a live stream of someone I don't like. How much free time you got, bitch?
I got tons of free time, and I don't do that. That's something that if you find yourself sitting around trying to figure out somebody's social security or like reverse engineering, like where somebody lives off a street sign in one of their videos or anything like that, you need help. You need real psychological help.
Clearly, you guys are not sick again. Go ahead.
Going back to Josh Moon for a second. Can we loop around to Keffals? Because I got something in my inbox right here I want to read.
Sure.
Okay?
Let's do it.
I have a headline that says, transgender streamer under fire once again after admitting to sponsoring do-it-yourself hormone directory accessed by minors. And they're referring to Keffals here. And the way I know they're referring to Keffals here is because she tweeted this out by saying, I'm in the news again for being based, it seems. Tommy, opinions?
Well, I have kids. I mean, I'm a normal father. If anybody put their hands on my kids, molested my kids, or sold them drugs, I might do something against the law. You know, I mean, like I that's if true. I'm surprised nobody's done something about that. What I do know is look, I've heard two things about couples. I heard the PDF stuff is horseshit, and then I heard that Muda's making a video and he struck gold. So I don't know. I don't know how base it's going to be if it plunges the police investigation. But in fairness, the record of YouTubers getting police, everyone's, you're going to jail, and nobody goes to jail. Look at EDP.
If Muda's looked into somebody and Muda's saying he struck gold, I would get the rope ready because I'd be ready to hang myself tonight because Muda does not around, man.
But going back to your question, I mean, I just like if somebody undermined my ability to parent. And especially if the government didn't step in and do something about it, I mean, yeah, I might be crazy enough to do something about it if somebody hurt my kid. You know, is somebody hurting your kid? You know, I mean, that's the way I see it. I don't know if that's all that crazy.
Jordy, you got a feeling on this?
I just think it's up that people are selling unregulated drugs. Like regulation is not a bad thing. You got to regulate things. If you don't regulate fishing, you lose all the fish. So like the reason you regulate drugs and you don't do it yourself hormones at home is because there's side effects. You could stop your heart. You could change something about your personality. You can become suicidal. There's all kinds of side effects for putting things in your body that, you know, somebody that doesn't know what they're doing, like a pharmacist or your doctor or anything like that. Don't do things that your doctor doesn't tell you to do is what I'm trying to say here. And don't buy do-it-yourself drugs or hormones. Like when I was like 14, right? I wanted to be a wrestler. That's what I wanted to do when I grew up. So like there could be somebody out there that thinks they want to be a girl, but you know, might not be. They might just be trying to get attention. You know what I'm saying? Like some people go through that attention stage. Like everybody has their gothic stage or like their rebellious stage. Like there was a period of my time where I listened to nothing but metal music because nobody else listened to metal music but me. Because it was something that was unique to my personality. But it wasn't. And I grew out of it.
Of the school that, you know, if the parents agree and the kid agrees and a doctor agrees and a therapist agrees, then maybe it's okay to start hormone treatments in that situation.
Because therapy's fucking bullshit.
Before we go into
out of it. I don't understand how we're inviting Keffals into the room. Imagine the best case scenario. And again, trying to play devil's advocate. Imagine you got a 13-year-old kid who thinks they're trans and they go to mommy and daddy, I want to talk to a doctor about hormone therapy. Can you help me figure this out? And they refuse. They say absolutely not. Why are we calling Keffals in that situation? Right?
I think Keffals is volunteering. I think that's what's happening.
If you feel that way and you're of age, you can go to your personal doctor yourself. You don't have to have your parents' permission.
Here's another thing, though. It's really important, Boogie. It's really important. All right. Okay. Yeah. One of the things they showed on, like the drugs, the boxing that it was in, it says keep out of the reach of parents. And they also showed a cat hair in one of the hormone bottles or what have you. So this is exactly the DIY. It gets
that is DIY very homemade, result. Huh?
Yeah. yeah, exactly.
Jesus.
So, can you imagine like coming home and finding out like, you know, your kid's going through whatever they're going through and they're getting drugs from this wacko on the internet? And, you know, assuming all this is true, you know, this is all alleged at this point.
Right.
But I think as a parent, I'd go berserk. I think it's a completely normal reaction. Who are you? You're not a doctor. You're not my family. You didn't have a right to do this.
I want to say something before I'm labeled a transphobe or anything like that, right? Like, because I'm a kind of person that says, like, you know, some people are very easy to spot. You can kind of say that building used to be a Pizza Hut, right? But regardless, regardless, I believe that some people are born in the wrong body because scientifically,
I can believe that.
Scientifically, we all start out as females. That's why males have nipples, right? And somewhere,
I'm not saying that.
Well, I'm saying this. That's why males have nipples. But somewhere in the womb, the father's gene takes over, and you become a male versus a female, right? You can develop a male body but have the female brain, right?
I suppose.
Sure,
I was more thinking that it's a mental thing, but yeah, I guess.
Well,
I'm,
okay,
look at it. Look at this way, Tommy. Look at this way, Tommy.
Okay, Dr. Jordy.
like people that are gay, right? They like the same sex. At what point in your life, Tommy, did you decide to like girls?
I don't know.
You didn't.
I can't remember a time when I did.
Your body just naturally liked girls because your brain was wired that way. Yeah. Some people naturally like boys because their brain is wired that way.
And that makes you gay, not trans.
It's not so much like they're trying to get into like attention seeking. Like, why would you want to attention seek going into this place where like the vast majority of the world hates you and there's like whole religions against you and whatever like this is, other than your body is craving this.
I think people can be born into. I'm sure people honestly believe it, and I think they understand their own identity or whatever. I'm not denying that. It's just you don't get to sell drugs to my kids,
right? I agree with that. You should never
because that's the case.
You should never. And if you want to make drugs, you need to have it FDA approved. In my opinion, like if you want to sell drugs to anybody in my family, it needs to have an FDA approval on it.
Yeah, no backstreet Keffel dealers. And let me go let me go back to, because I like talking about trans rights and trans stuff like that, right? Some people believe it's a mental illness. And I think if it is a mental illness, if you have a mental illness and me calling you a woman is going to ease your pain, I have no problem doing that. I don't know what anybody does.
You're such a hero.
I'm just saying, like, I change one word in my vocabulary to cause someone with a mental illness feel slightly better in their own body, their own brain, their own mind. Sure, I don't give a shit. I'll do that. But I will go as far as to say it's people like Keffels that are making it more difficult to do that. I genuinely feel like why are you the poster child of trans people right now? You are doing a horrible disservice to trans people everywhere. And I Tommy, I think you've said this before. You've seen her use the trans community as a shield over and over.
A shield and a sword. She's intimidated. She intimidated and threatened. Like went up to and threatened Destiny's ex-wife, saying she was going to get him kicked off of more stuff. She's the platformer to boot. And I got to be honest, I don't find her particularly bright. She doesn't come up. She's not like an intellectual or anything. In fact, I think she's bone stupid. She's in a debate with Keemstar a year or two ago, and she's obviously being fed stuff. I don't find them being particularly smart either. So yeah, I think she's like the worst.
I thought this was going to take a dark turn. I thought Tommy was going to say he went and seen the porn that Keffels was in.
Yes, that was it. She was in a porn? What?
Yeah, she started out in like an adult, like doing porns and stuff like that before she got into the
top or bottom?
Oh, she was doing like fart stuff.
What?
Yeah.
Like what? Yeah. What? Somebody told me that. It was like, she was doing like flagellants porn or something.
She wasn't the girl from Cake Farts, was she?
I have no idea. Was your customers?
No. Do you guys remember? Do you guys remember cakefarts.com?
I don't remember cakefarts.com. I do not.
Yeah, Cake Farts was a video.
I missed that one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, again, the internet was a vast wasteland of lunacy when it first cropped up. And at the beginning, there was a website called Cake Farts, and it was literally just a video of a woman who took one of those old school frozen cakes out of a freezer and then got on it and farted on her chocolate cake. And that's the entire video. And it was cakefarts.com. And it was just...
You guys remember when you could go to like gore.com and see a guy cut in half with a bandsaw and just be right out the open? There's barriers or anything with it. Like the internet used to be a hardcore fucking place.
Mm-hmm. I think before you go,
Jordy, you said something about funny about Keffels offline. What did you say she was as far as an advocate?
Oh yeah. Like she's the Al Sharpton of the transgender community.
Yeah, exactly.
Like it's like
nobody takes him seriously.
It's like everything in the world. Like you could be like, this sandwich is mediocre, and like, well, how does that regulate the trans rights? Like everything doesn't have to be about trans rights. Like you can't have a conversation with her without it being there. Well, she has it plastered on her fucking microphone for some reason. Like, do we need it in our face like this all the time? It's like, okay, whatever.
I think she probably thinks that she's probably come to believe, because I don't think she's particularly bright. That makes her smart. I think a lot of people get into advocacy because they want to be seen as smarter than they are. So I get that feeling. That's her. I'm an advocate. That makes you smart. Not necessarily.
No, definitely not.
Not necessarily.
Technically,
bright,
I think
smart,
a smart person realizes how fucking dumb they actually are.
Yeah. I think that's why people go into politics. It's the idea of being seen as an authority figure. I think that attracts. That's why we have so many bad politicians.
Dude, did you see like Tom Cotton? Did you see Tom Cotton interview that like TikTok CEO and kept accusing him of being Chinese when he's actually from Singapore?
So You said today, as you often say, that you live in Singapore. Of what nation are you a citizen?
Singapore.
Are you a citizen of any other nation?
No, Senator.
Have you ever applied for Chinese citizenship?
Senator, I served my nation in Singapore.
No,
I did not.
Do you have a Singaporean passport?
Yes, and I served my military for two and a half years in Singapore.
Do you have any other passports from any other nations?
No, Senator.
Your wife is an American citizen. Your children are American citizens.
That's correct.
Have you ever applied for American citizenship?
No, not yet.
Okay. Have you ever been a member of the Chinese Communist Party?
Senator, I'm Singaporean. No.
Have you ever been associated or affiliated with the Chinese Communist Party?
No, Senator. Again, I'm Singaporean.
I think I did see that. It was pretty funny.
God, Tom Cotton's a asshole. Like, I know we don't like to get in politics and everything, but Tom Cotton should not be a representative of any party.
That's my representative, everybody. Yay, gonna get a round of applause for Tom Cotton. Yay.
He should be in jail for treason.
Treason?
Yeah, dude. Like back when Obama was trying to like make a deal with I think it was either Iran. I think it was Iran, but it could have been Iraq. I'm not particularly clear on these details, but they were making a nuclear deal. It was Iran.
I bet.
Yeah. And like Tom Cotton got together with a bunch of his other buddies and wrote a letter to Ahmadinejad. I probably just butchered his name, and said that when a Republican president gets into power in the next presidential term, we're not going to honor any of the thing that Barack Obama is giving you right now. And to me,
Iran?
With Iran, yeah.
Good! and like crazy! They started a war! You nut!
And I'm like, how is this not high treason? Like, this feels like something you would die for.
Treason is you get a enemy a nuclear weapon. Treason isn't I'm gonna fight against your policy. You're crazy, Jordy.
How is that not treason? Like you're literally sabotaging like our foreign affairs.
When we get lawfully elected, we're not going to honor a stupid treaty.
Yeah, but you're literally like going against your country's foreign policy at this point.
Well, not when he's out of office. I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, even if it was like legally binding, I wouldn't honor it if it's giving Iran a nuclear weapon. They're crazy. Do you have any idea like how people look at the world over there? I mean, if Obama wants to give him a nuke, I think that's treasonous. How about that? God.
It's not so much he wanted to give them a nuke. He was basically giving them the money that they had.
Give it a nuke so they wouldn't nuke anybody. I know.
No. He was basically the United States had like, I don't know. I don't want to speak on it too much because I don't remember all the facts. But it was not as clear cut as you're making it out to be.
Maybe. I'm not too familiar with it either, but I mean the fact that I don't care if anybody stabs Iran in the back over.
I just always thought that was like the most scummy move ever. It's like
you might think it's scummy, but it's not treasonous. Treason's like executable crime.
Yeah, but you can't you can't look
yes,
at
you can.
You can't look like you. I'm trying to say like as a whole, like if we have basically two parties in the United States. We have Republicans and Democrats, and they're basically 50-50 in our area, right? Like there's 50% Republican, 50% Democrats. Every now and then, that 1 or 2% kind of swings who gets to be in power. Mm-hmm. And if you have it the case where like both sides are unwilling to work with anybody on bipartisan deals or like foreign affairs or something like that, like it makes the whole country look bad. And like we're slowly and surely getting to the point where like, there's the extreme right and the extreme left, and there's no more in the middle. And like I feel like that's a bad thing.
Oh, that's just reality. That's just the world of this.
I don't know if any of that's treasonous. I mean, all right, so you have gridlock, that's treasonous. I mean, I don't know. You're talking about gridlock. It's kind of.
I mean, you could disagree with a policy without like writing a letter and signing it off. Like, yo, your treaty, we're not going to honor it here soon.
That's how you disagree with the policy. We're not going to honor this thing. I don't know. They might have to honor it by law if it was put in, but any deal with Iran that has something to do with money or nukes, I don't care.
Look,
Jesus Christ, they're nuts.
Can we get back to a topic that our audience seems to be obsessed
good
with?
Point.
And that is kids. Because they love to defend children. And so I know all of them are going to be so excited that Ruby Frank is looking at 80 years in jail, 60 years in jail. Could be as little as 4, depending on how they do it. But she's in a bunch of trouble. Tommy, you want to bring people to speed on this one?
From what Ruby Frank, that's the name. Apparently, Ruby Frank was a YouTuber at one time. Why I don't know if there was any. I could be wrong about this. there was any kind of, she had one of those creepy family channels. I don't know if anything illegal happened there, but the project kind of ran through to the end, and apparently she was doing crazy stuff to her kids, like starving them, not giving them water, taking their beds away,
taking the bed away.
She essentially kidnapped her own kids and was like abusing them in ways that, I mean, it's just right out of a horror movie. And I guess one of the kids escaped from chains one night and ran to a neighbor, and the cops got involved. She got arrested, and now she's looking at serious time. Serious, like pretty much. She's 60 years old, life in prison. Let's be honest.
I mean, this woman's clearly a piece of human garbage.
30 years for a 40-year-old is essentially life in prison.
I'm just gonna go ahead and say that any time a parent is using their children up for like social media clout for whatever reason, it's probably warranting of an investigation, because chances are if you're using children for social media clout, you're somewhere on the narcissism spectrum.
Probably.
And it probably doesn't hurt to look a little bit into it. But shoving a camera in a kid's face, and I don't mean like once. I don't mean like every so often.
Yeah, not like me and Tommy did for the commercial.
Right.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is all day, every day, like the Daddy of Five situation, like the Ace all family. Day, every day. Right. Ace yeah. I think that's going to have drastic consequences on your children.
I agree.
Yeah, and I'm not likening it to the Chainsaw Night or taking your child's bed away or any of that, but I am saying that
it's a sign. It's a red flag.
It's a pretty big red flag.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. Like, I don't know why you'd want to do that. I mean, my son and me stream sometimes and play Fortnite or something like that, but. I mean, or we did the commercial, but I'm not going to.
Right? Yeah, but a huge difference between doing that and like dedicating your children to their entire basis. And I
don't need my kid to pay my bills. You know, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah. Let kids be kids, man. And I get that it's increasingly more difficult in this world. And I'm not a parent, so again, take anything I have to say with a grain of salt. But I am a kid that grew up abused. Make it about me as I always do. Thank you very much. But I'm a kid who grew up abused, and I do know the warning signs. And it does seem like a lot of the shit that these kids go through is not something that we should be doing to our kids.
Well, I think the dad should be held responsible here too a little bit, because like he had to see the warning signs here. Because like, at what way can you go into like a courtroom and fight for like child custody and not get your children if this is how they're treating? Because the kids have to be telling their father, like, dude, she's literally duct taping our hands together. We don't get beds. We don't get water. We haven't eaten in 3 days. We're all malnourished. Help us, daddy. You know, something like that lines. Like, at what point does the dad just not get any kind of flack from this?
I don't know why he's not getting flack. Perhaps there's not evidence, but that doesn't seem to stop you from putting somebody executed for treason.
I think we just disagree what treason is. Like look at it this way, Tommy. Look at it this way, Tommy. If you did that shit in the Revolutionary War, your ass would have got hung.
As a politician, probably not. You know, as a soldier,
I mean, like they had fucking duels and shit. What about the Alexander Burr and like
it had nothing to do. They had to go to Burr. Yeah, he had to go to Pennsylvania to do a duel because it was illegal. He had to go to New Jersey because it was legal there. Still.
Yeah. Plus, you have to consent to a duel. You just say no. Go yourself. Right.
I wish they bring dueling back. It's so awesome.
They should put it on TV.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm 100%. Like
Ted Cruz and Bernie Sanders in the Coliseum.
Oh my God, that's so good.
You know, it'd be really great if you had because we have so many bad influencers. Why don't we do like a battle royale for real? Like just spread a bunch of guns over an island and let them all go at it.
Put a bunch of TV cameras, make it punchable like that. You destroy the TV cameras.
Yeah. Oh God, that'd be fantastic. You know?
Speaking of reality TV, did you see
how let's see how good Ninja really is at Fortnite.
Speaking of reality, speaking of like royales, and can we talk about Mr. Beast for a second? Sure. He finally tasted one of his Feastable bars and found out that they were garbage, and now there's new ones. And
what's a Feastable bar?
Feastable bar. So Mr. Beast, our YouTuber's Mr. Beast, has a lot of side businesses, one of which is his Feastable lines of chocolates. And they sell them at every Walmart. You can go pick one up tomorrow. Feel free to do so. But if you don't get the brand new blue label, you are eating literal garbage. And their goal was to make a chocolate bar that tastes better than Hershey's, but my ass tastes better than Hershey's.
Ouch.
And as a fat man, I do just want to go ahead and say that it does surprise me that was the quality of shit they shoved out the front door.
Did you not try the Beast Burger?
Bar. I did not. No, absolutely not. I know what a ghost kitchen is. I know about this shit early on. I'm not gonna eat at a ghost kitchen. I'm not gonna eat pizzas sold by Chuck E. Cheese, and I'm not gonna get a burger made by Tex-Mex restaurants for Mr. Beast.
I got a question. He sells chocolate and and everybody wants to get into like a beef with Mr. Beast. Like, has anybody ever looked into like the child labor in chocolate? Like, does his chocolate bar link back to like child labor in Africa? Has anybody tried to connect the dots here?
Jesus Christ.
I'm just saying, because chocolate's a shady industry.
We should just accuse them right now.
Right, Jordan has officially accused Mr. Beast of child labor exploitation on the Lol Cow podcast.
I'm just saying, chocolate is hard to make, and Mr. Beast ain't out there making the chocolate himself in the backyard.
Tears makes it taste so much better.
At that point, let's just let the children's tears. I do think the ghost of the Chinese people that killed themselves making my iPhone does make it work better, for the record. But
maybe that YouTuber should go into the chocolate business that cleaned up for kids. Make some really good chocolate.
If we're basically attacking Mr. Beast for chocolate, let's make a connection between that and childhood obesity, though. Childhood obesity. What about that? Let's make that argument.
I got that in spades. What the fuck are you talking about?
I'm just saying, as two fat men, if we're going to basically accuse Mr. Beast of doing something wrong by selling chocolate to children, he's adding to childhood obesity. He's the sweetest.
Boogie.
He's killed millions.
He gave 100 people the ability to see again, but gave 10 million children diabetes. So they'll go blind.
If we got David Goggins, Boogie, would you come?
Wings, I gotta be honest with you, I'm very surprised like how suspicious of your people and the way you're going to accuse people of treason and abusing their kids after all the bullshit you have to put up with. That's a little shocking.
I got to pull with this bullshit because I had these crazy ideas. This is why I'm a Lol Cow.
Okay, fair enough.
It's like, I just saying, it's like if you're selling chocolate, where are you buying your chocolate from? Because I don't think he actually does the chocolate himself. I'm sure he buys it from a major company, and then they make the bars, and he puts like a wrapper on them and like sends them to the Walmart, whatever it might be. I'm sure that's how he does it. If you're buying from Nestle, you're buying blood chocolate, bud. Like, where are you getting your chocolate? Yeah.
I don't know. I've heard of blood diamonds, but not blood chocolate. But maybe you're right. I don't know.
Anyway, the point that I'm making is this shout out is so that Mr. Beast will send us all a case because I'm broke and I want to eat it.
All I know is I love my iPad.
Yeah, he spent his last $20, Mr. Beast, on his Pokemon Go. Give us some chocolate.
How hard do you think the kids worked on this thing? I don't know.
I don't know. Their hands are small.
Good job.
I mean, they can get those coconuts way off the top of the trees.
Yes. Mr.
Oh, God.
Paco, and get me some chocolate.
I'll send this to the editor so you can include it. But did you know back in 2021, Mr. Beast sent me a message. He says, "Hey, can I call you real quick?" And I replied with yes, and I gave him my phone number, and he never called.
That's funny. You know what he's probably doing? He's like, "Hey, you know, he's with his buddy. Watch this. Hey, Buggy, can you call me real quick?"
You know he dodged a bullet if he was like going to try to do business with me, especially during 2021. It was
probably trolling you. He's trolling you.
Yeah. God. I would like to meet Jimmy one day, just because I would like to have some of his money, please. At least I'll admit it. Give me some money, Mr. Jimmy.
Did you know Jimmy or something? Wings or something back in the day?
He was a guy that would like idolize Woody's gamer tag. And I was automatically associated with Woody's gamer tag.
So he idolized you too?
No, he didn't idolize me. He just grew up watching me. But but I'm willing to work for some money here. Like if you want to put me on you want to put me on one of those dumbass game shows where we drive trucks backwards into like a derby or some shit for money, I got you.
No,
I got you.
Here's what he does. He locks me and you in a room with our own private chef who will only feed us 1,200 calories a day, and the first person that gets out of there loses the money. And then no matter what happens, whoever like gets the money obviously wins, but at least one of us lost some weight.
So didn't we? I'm already beating your ass right now in a weight loss competition.
Oh, I know. I'm having a Mountain Dew and a Rice Krispie treat to celebrate.
What's the matter with you? Why aren't you competing? Why aren't you trying?
Because they already passed my ass, dude. I can't.
Well,
I said last week, I can't get Ozempic. I can't get this. I can't do what he's doing right now.
Why you're such a quitter?
Yeah, I'm a quitter when somebody else is shooting up $1,200 worth of steroids every month.
2,600 and it's once a week. But yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't compete with that. I can't compete if we compete on fair levels. Let's go. But at the end of the day, I have lost 15 pounds and kept it off, so that's pretty good. I could probably
still
10 more by it's over with.
So he's already lost 40. Stacker 2. Remember that 20 years ago? Stacker 2.
Like, I could literally start eating pizza right now, Boogie, and still get that money.
I know you could. I had pizza for dinner last night.
Did you take Stacker 2? Do you remember that? Like 20 years ago?
No. And, I remember I tried Slim Fast one time, and it gave me the worst constipation in my life, and it led to like one of my the stories that people idolize with me.
Really? Is that the one when you did a black flip and your grandma came
Yeah, my grandma just stuck my finger up my butt. Yeah, it's from Slim Fast. Because like nobody told my dumb ass that Slim Fast dehydrates you like a motherfucker.
Nobody told you.
No, find out yourself. Reading the back of the canister was not in my.
Why did you treat your grandmother like that? Why did you just suffer like everybody else does? Like, Grandma, help! Like, how did that go? Tell me that story.
My grandmother was a home help aide for the longest time in her life. That's what basically.
So it wasn't the first finger up a butt.
Right. She helped old people like change their diapers and stuff like that, and like. I had never taken an enema before, and I was kind of afraid. So, like, instead of like giving myself the enema, I asked her if she would do it for me.
That's terrible.
How's that terrible? I went to somebody who knew what they were doing.
No, you didn't.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Jesus Christ!
And like I was I was so constipated that the enema worked almost instantly, but like it didn't get all of the constipation. So like there was like 2.5 inches of like smush that came out like whoosh, and then a big
gross.
like 1.5-inch hard turd hit my sphincter and turned sideways. It took my breath. It took I fell off the toilet and hit the wall.
Boogie, have you heard this story before?
No, I don't want to hear it now.
No, I won't tell you any gory stuff, but it was so funny. Like, he's on this thing. Well, I was sitting on the thing, and the turd did a loop-de-loop.
Like, it literally turned side. You know, turds come out like, north to south. This one was coming out east to west. Because like I was shitting with such veracity that it just like flipped.
God. Gee, you had a breech baby come out of your asshole, Jordy.
Yeah, and like it took my breath. It feels like somebody like uppercutted my asshole.
Yeah,
and like I didn't know what to do. And like I had like my underwear and shit, like hanging around my ankles. I had to like wobble into the living room asking for help.
Look, to any of the women.
You're kidding me? No.
I'm not kidding you.
What did your grandma say? Like, what are you doing?
She helped me out. Like
I need some help, Grandma.
She put some gloves on and said her stuck her finger up my butt.
You.
To any of the women that are listening to this podcast, number one, what's it like to be imaginary? Number two, you can never complain to Wings what it's like to give childbirth because he knows. He knows.
He knows. Well, funny enough, I had a kidney stone last year, so.
How was that?
It's excruciating, dude.
Oh, I bet.
Like I was always worried about like the pissing part. That's the easy part. Like pissing it out, passing it from your kidney to your bladder. Holy shit, dude! Like some of the worst pain I've ever had in my life. Like I vomited in the hallway just trying to go to the bathroom. Like it was so bad.
God, your body hates you as much as you hate your own body, Wings. It's amazing. I love you. I always leave these recordings feeling slightly better about myself.
I can't believe you did that to your grandma.
How would you do that to my grandma? Like,
she was like go to the hospital or something. You jerk.
Grandma.
Yeah, let's go pay $8,000 for somebody to stick their finger in my butt and get it for free in the next room.
Turned in loop to loop, doctor. I need some help.
I mean, you can say this. I got out of that situation unconstipated for like $2.50.
Oh, you put your grandma. I'd have paid the $8,000 just to see myself the embarrassment.
That is a hospitalized event. When your poop goes loop to loop, they have to keep you for observation for 24 hours. That's true. Yeah, that's one of the things. Hey, while we're talking about weight loss, can we talk about one of my weight loss heroes who's really on the rise right now? And that's, of course, we all know Ethan Ralph. Did you know that Ethan Ralph got banned from streaming on Odyssey and also got an extended suspension from Kick?
For what? Do we know what he did?
I don't know. Play the clip.
No, I don't think there's a clip. I don't think there's a clip to be played. He's just
is there not?
About it.
He says he did doxed, right? Like Odyssey said he was doxing people.
Oh, that's right. Odyssey said he was toxic. I don't know whether he was or not.
I did see a clip today where he called Medicare woke.
Oh yeah, because he doesn't talk about Jews anymore. He called Medicare.
What's even worse is Gabe paying the casino to pretend like they like him. Disgusting, sad, pathetic. Well, he's gotten his money's worth. He's pretty smart about that, actually. He's gotten his money's worth in every way that matters. They don't cover Zionism. You think they're going to talk about David Irving dying? Hell no. Like, think they're going to talk about what Israel's doing in the Middle East that we've talked about I was going to say ad nauseum, but almost, yeah. On the kill stream? Hell no. Took out the alt-right. You notice Medicare doesn't say about Jews anymore either. Or trans. Or anything else. They're basically woke now. That whole crowd. Am I wrong? I don't think so.
Medicare don't do it. I do it. I'm the only one with the balls talking about the Zionists.
Dude, like when you're getting banned of all these platforms and all these women are saying that you beat on them, can you look at yourself in the mirror and be like, maybe I'm a pile of dung shit?
Yeah.
No, it's the Jews.
I don't think it's the Jews. I think it's you.
It's all you woke lefties.
It's fascinating watching. Like, I know that I'm a lolcow, but at least I'll never be Ethan Ralph.
Yeah,
you know?
Well, Dick Masterson got on me and you, Boogie, because he says Ralph came in and bodied us. How did he body us? Call us the same tired shit over and over again, while every time you bring his accusations up, I can't speak on that. I have court cases. Motherfucker can't body shit. Motherfucker can't even do the times table.
I don't know. I gotta be honest with you. It was what he did, but it was awful fucking entertaining. What do you mean? It turns you in? He did body. He turned you inside out. He tried to quit the podcast twice.
It wasn't because of Ralph.
Yeah, it was. That was your attitude.
I didn't give a fuck about Ralph. There's other people out there that are way more scary than Ralph.
Yeah, but you were all up for like 2 weeks. You were all up. You're telling me it was bothering you and everything else. Don't give me that. He you up, dude. You let him and you let him you up.
Dude,
I'm telling the truth.
Speaking of like Review Tech USA had one of my trolls on the other day. He had 007 on his ship. Like, why is this guy giving this dude a platform? Like, all he does is clip me and not pay his child support. Like, why do you think he's important? Why do we need to hear from him?
What did he say? I bet you watched every minute of it.
It was that stupid. It was one of those stupid clips I said when I was younger about I don't even want to say it. It's it was a lie to begin with.
Yeah,
it was a lie to begin with.
Like you're talking about, like what that's what he talked about, just the same stuff he usually posts, or would they have a conversation? Because I know you watched it.
He remember when we were talking about Vosh, and like he got upset that I was going in on Vosh about like watching like horse porn and shit like that. And I said I watched this like Mexican video where like this girl had like intercourse with a horse, which I didn't. Ew. It's just some shit I made up. Yeah, and like he wanted to make sure that Rich knew that I said this 15 years ago, and that I should that Rich should have nothing to do with me, and I'm a terrible person, and like I should be like.
Well, I wouldn't worry about it because Boogie hosted the website, so don't worry about it.
Right? Yeah. I mean, they get me on the same. Right, like they got me on. Let's see, the two clips I've been seeing circulating around lately. It's like they claim I said the N-word. I did back in 2016 with a soft R while reading a comment that used the word. Yeah, okay.
How do you say it with a soft R?
Such a with a soft. It with the ga right at the end
with an A. You said it with an A.
There's so much shit I get flack for. Like I get the Woody flack because Woody said like females are like built to be like and shit like that, and I've repeated that, reading Woody's words verbatim with quotations, and they just take the context out of it.
Yeah, I'm again at the end of the day.
I told you Ralph broke you. See, you sit there. They took the context out. You're like, they're gonna do it. Why you just don't let it bother you?
Yeah. What's so funny? It
bothers me because they are sponsors with this shit. That's what it bothers me.
They do.
Well, that's because they're right in. There's nothing we can do about that. What about it's going to get them to stop?
I have a theory when it comes to this trolling shit. It works like a religion, okay? All right, so you have L. Ron Hubbard, right? L. Ron Hubbard's writing books, and he does pretty good at it. And one day he decides he wants to create a religion, and that religion's called Scientology. And go ahead and sue me if you want to, but I think Scientology is complete and utter bullshit. That said,
I think it's really smart.
Well, okay, right, but at the end of the day, we all know that We all know that
Scientology.
we all know that L. Ron Hubbard did not believe in his own bullshit, right? So he had to sell it to someone who did, because who can proselytize for your new religion better than someone who genuinely believes it?
So
I
don't L. Ron appreciate Hubbard, you talking about Ron that way.
Well, I'm going to.
You know why they call them prophets, Boogie? Because all they do is make prophets.
You'll sit there and you say, I'll call it he is she, but I won't respect Tommy C's religion.
But at the end of the day, what it comes down to is these trolls have to. I don't think anybody sharing these clips are that stupid, right? And I think some of them are just sharing them because they want us to react to it.
What's wrong with Ron, really? What do you know about Ron?
The fact that L. Ron Hubbard invented a religion to take advantage of the richest, most elite people on the planet, and good for him for doing it.
Ron cared about people, and he wanted to make their lives better through Dianetics.
Boogie, just wait till you learn about Mormonism.
Oh, I know. Trust me. We all watch some South Park.
I like that one too.
But I'm just saying, if you want to invent a religion, you have to find people stupid enough to believe it, and that's what these trolls do. They take these clips out of context. Of course they are. Of course they are. Except I do believe Christ is our Lord and Savior. But
do you really believe that?
I'm leaning that way more and more very recently.
Oh, Desi's getting you then, huh?
No, she's not religious at all. But really? I have actually been just, I don't know, reading it, studying it, and getting a little bit more of it into my system, and I'm beginning to think that Christ might have been sent here by God.
I think he's Ron.
It might be. It might be.
I'm married to the deacon's daughter, and I still don't believe any of that mess.
What is she? What is Kelly? What is Kelly? You said
the deacon's daughter.
Oh, what religion is she?
Pentecostal holiness. The crazy kind.
I don't know.
I don't know how to.
It's like the snakes.
They speak in tongues. Speak in tongues and stuff like
That's my favorite one. Yeah. That's my favorite one.
Which I've never seen that. I've been to her church multiple times. I've never actually seen. They don't use snakes or doing the tongue speaking.
Oh, I love the tongue speaking. That's so funny.
Yeah.
Because she makes me go to church on the holidays and stuff like that. And I agreed to this when we got married that Christmas, Easter, I'll go to church with you. And it's like
I hope there's some kid that's forced to go to church. He looks over.
She got mad at me so bad one day because they had this play where they turned the lights off and they were doing this Jesus what are those things called where you see in the yard. They had this little Jesus play, and I'm over here on my phone looking at Reddit. And all you can see is my phone screen on in the dark.
Pentecostal church is the only church in the world that you won't get kicked out for asking a woman, "Show me what that tongue do."
Do they really? They've never speaking tongue. They didn't do the snakes and the speaking tongues. You never why go? I mean, that's the only reason I could make to go. That's got to be great. I hope some guy records. I hope some troll finds you in there. He's like some 17-year-old kid's got to go. He looks over this Wings of Redemption with Kelly. And he records you like that guy did at Home Depot.
That was a girl, by the way, but yeah.
That was a chick? Really?
Yeah, it was a chick.
She lost her job, right?
No.
You kidding me?
I mean, she did it at this point because that.
Oh, okay.
The Home Depot shut down, but she didn't lose it because of that.
That was awful. I thought that was really, because I was a security guard. If you did something like that, man.
I understand you have no element of privacy in public, but I feel like it's cool that you record my images. It's cool that you record my shit. The fact that you took it home and shared it feels like it crossed the line with me.
I agree with you. I agree with you on this one.
Of course it did.
I guarantee you there was some policy where you couldn't do that. I guarantee it.
Yeah, I think
all the security stuff's at the property of whoever the employer. I guarantee it broke some.
You have no reasonable right to privacy inside of a public space, right? But at the same time, don't represent your corporation that way, you dip.
Yeah, if you're a corporate head and people now got to worry about being recorded and put in the internet, and maybe they don't think it's a one-off for Wings. Maybe they'll start doing it with other people. Maybe start putting cameras in the bathroom, or some
right. Yeah.
Oh, I think that's out of line.
It is always so fascinating, the way people will commit literal crimes or throw away all morality and decency to harass Jordy. It's so fascinating.
Well, this is a woman. This is a woman with kids too. If she lost her job, it probably would have affected her life, and she was willing to do this.
Hey, look, it's Wings, and he's buying. What are you buying? Wood or something?
I was buying a folder.
And so what did she do? It was look, Wings of Redemption bought a folder, and she posted it. Really?
Yeah, that's what I was doing. I was buying a folder, and I was mad too. I had just got my truck back from the dealership, and it was still acting up, and they said they had fixed it. So like I was mad, and I was just stewing. Like, so I looked like ill as hell.
Yeah, again, these people don't know what cool is. Some of these people are wild, man.
Some of them are funny. Like the guys who are team killing wings and jumping in front of them.
You say that's funny until you have to deal with that shit.
That is so funny.
They found a fatal me on Call of Duty where like Call of Duty has this thing like if you block somebody, they don't keep that person from joining your game. What they do is they give you a pop-up in the middle of a fast-paced arcade shooter that says, "Somebody joined your game. Would you like to leave?" So they'll just join the game and leave, join the game and leave, join the game and leave, join the game and leave. So it just constantly pops up, and it takes you out of the action. It literally, you be in a gunfight, it's like you stop fighting. It's like yes or no, yes or no. If you click yes, it takes you out the game.
I like when your teammates like ran in front of you and stuff to keep you able to see. It was so funny.
Did you see the time where I had a guy that was like an aimbotter on PC just following me around for like weeks at a time?
No, I didn't know that, but
he had like every game I walked into had a guy with an LMG just doing the spin, just eating my team up. I was like, good.
Oh God! See, I don't mind that kind of trolling. I think that's because it's just a video game.
Yeah, but you don't have to spend 4 hours a day dealing with it, trying to make money.
I don't know. I bet I deal with it better than you.
I bet you will too until you've got 7 years worth of it.
I'll be honest, genuinely, I would imagine you're way more entertaining to watch when people are trying to with you.
I guarantee it.
Yeah, and so like at the end of the day, like the worst thing that could ever happen to you, Wings, is nobody came in and nobody with you and nobody tried to piss you off, and all you did was sit there and be good at Call of Duty.
I don't give a fuck about your KD. You know,
there's so many people freaking out.
I was going so far. I'm gonna say this: I would be more fun streaming if I wasn't so scared of everything I said being used as a weapon against me.
Yeah. Well, I've started live streaming again, and I no longer give a f***, and I just say offensive shit the whole time, and I don't really care anymore. It's not like anybody sponsored me anyway.
Yeah,
Ralph broke you.
We don't got sponsored. We pretty much can't get canceled at this point. But it's just like it's almost like it's like a battered fucking wife. You're still in the back of your head like, I shouldn't make this edgy joke, right? Because like I make a bunch of edgy jokes. It's what I do. Like I think all fat people do this at some point. Like fat people try to use comedy to fit in because they don't fit in because they're fat.
Do you know where my edgy sense of humor came from? Was looking at all these comedians on TV, Sam Kinison, all these other fat comedians, a lot of them really offensive, right? But then on top of that, when I went to Upper Bound, this guy was like, "Oh, you like being funny?" I'm like, "Yeah." Hand me a bunch of joke books. There were joke books from the 60s and 70s filled with like racist, offensive jokes about the most disgusting topics. And I was a 16-year-old kid. This is like a 35-year-old man handing me these books.
Truly Tasteless Jokes, what's it called?
Yeah, that's one of the books that was the one.
You're not much older than me. So I remember those.
And so like I would read these to the people in the class, and everybody would think it was funny. And again, my girlfriend was black, and she's like, read another one of those black ones. Read another one of those black ones. She thought that was funny too. And so I got
read
this.
me one of those black ones, Boogie. I dare you.
Oh, okay. Let's see. You want to hear one?
Let's hear one.
Let's see. Well, here's one of the really old ones. It makes no sense, I think, ultimately these days. But what's the difference between a black dad and a large pizza?
What is
a large pizza can feed a family of 4.
I know that one.
Ha. You know, like I don't know. It's not even that offensive. It's just stupid, right?
You know the best black joke I ever heard?
Which one?
All right. How does every black joke start?
Oh.
And then you look left and you look right.
You ever see that Pee and Kill?
Oh, I got another black joke. I got another one. What do you call a black pilot? A pilot, you racist? What's the matter with you?
I don't want to share them because they will use this against me.
I did. Well, yeah, you're gonna use it against you anyway. Go for it.
No, I did. I'm good.
Yeah.
I've got a bevy of them. I came in from the deep south. I got a bevy of these bitches. I just don't use them.
Jon Stewart went back to the Daily Show, and he's doing a Monday show. And last Monday, he just like showed what a show this next election is by making fun of both Trump and Biden. And naturally, everyone just picked him the apart, because if you're making fun of both candidates in this environment, you're in trouble. That worked 10 years ago, John. It don't work now. But whatever.
Why would it work now? I thought it went over well.
I loved it, but the people are livid.
It got 8 million views. It went over well.
I think it went over because I go to a lot of like right wing websites, and they were I wouldn't say praising it, but they were using the stuff that he said about Biden.
Yeah. Well,
I think it went over better than you think.
Good. Okay. But his follow-up was the follow-up. He talked about one of the old things I grew up on this with like All in the Family and stuff like that. We made fun of Polacks for some reason. I don't know the historical implication of it, but I just thought the jokes were hilarious.
You don't know why they make fun of Polacks?
Why?
They, you don't know why? Because they only lasted like a day against Germany when they're invaded.
I was going to say,
and they're the most conquered most conquered country on earth. It's like,
and that's still better than France. Then France like just go, okay, no, just gonna have it.
France at least makes you fight for it. They just lose.
Yeah, no, they don't lose. You ever like you hear that joke? French guns selling on eBay, never been used, only dropped once. And the Polish, I grew up with Polish jokes that they were stupid, and they're not any stupider than anybody else. But there's some like, what do you do if a Polak throws a grenade at you? You pull out the pin and throw it back.
Okay, here's one that I don't know if it'll land, but I love to tell it. So there's these two Polish pilots, and they're flying a big 747 plane, and they're coming into the landing strip, and they look down and like, man, that landing strip is really narrow. I don't know if we can pull this off. If we were to pull this off, we're going to have to be the best pilots in the world. That's a short runway. So they try to land it on this short runway, and they manage to do it with just barely the front wheel going over the edge of this short runway. And one looks at the other and says, man, why the fuck is this runway so short? And the other looks at him and says, I don't know. Sure is fucking wide though, ain't it?
I don't get it.
They landed on it the wrong way. They landed on it the wrong way because they're Polish. Yeah, it's a thing for plus and bad.
You gotta go simpler. How do you get a one-armed Polak out of a tree?
How?
Wave.
Now we're just fucking making racist jokes at the end of the show.
Look, okay.
Well, I'm like Polish Americans are like the easiest going, but I actually live with a lot of Polish. They kick ass. They're like tough, like tough as nails. I wouldn't make a Polish joke. Like I'd make a Polish joke
if you got made fun of for 30 years by every other American.
Yeah, they get. But no, Polish Americans are like they're so easygoing, kind of on the fence. Nothing really. Polish. They're like gypsies, man. They whip your ass, man. They're like the tough guys around. They're like them and the Russians are kind of like the toughest white people.
Old plaster cast
in Europe. Yeah,
don't the gypsies do that? They like dip their fists in plaster and have like bare knuckle fights. And
I don't know. Well, let me tell you something. The gypsies are pretty tough.
Yeah,
I gotta be honest with you. And then they have the Irish gypsies, the travelers. I've run into them too. They have all these like scams and stuff going on over here. They're nobody to mess with.
I know you guys watch boxing at all?
No, only when you do it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say
I haven't watched my
John
fight
Fury's
yet.
trying to fight people right now. I'm like, dude, John Fury got his ass whooped his entire career. Why do you think you're fighting at 60? He wants to fight like Mike Tyson.
Tyson's pushing 60, isn't he?
Yeah, he's old too, but like John Fury was never on Tyson's level back in the day. Like there's levels to boxing, and John Fury's not on those levels. He has a son that is, but he isn't.
Why don't you fight him?
He beat my ass. I ain't on his level.
His level.
Like I said, I can beat 400-pound cancer patients. I ain't beating somebody with actual fighting skill.
All right. Is there anything else you guys got before we end this?
That'll do it. One more thing. I do want to point out the Dark Side Phil. There's a new gaming expansion coming to Elden Ring, which was an excellent game. Coming out with a collector edition. Yes, I did. I completed it 3 times, actually.
Nerd.
And feel free to check my Xbox profile if you want to find out. But anyway, he made fun of the fact that there's a collector's edition that comes with a helmet. And he said, who would want to wear a helmet? Who would want to wear this specific helmet? And then
he would wear it if he got him money.
In the same live stream, put on a knitted hat for $10. Thank you, Darkside Phil.
Phil. Real quick, before we end it, didn't Darkside Phil like they're gonna do something on him and it got dropped or something? Or
yeah. That Mike Klum guy was going to do a documentary.
Your documentarian, okay?
Yeah, my documentarian, and eventually Phil decided to back out, and I think it's one of the dumbest decisions Phil could have ever made.
Dude,
Phil, look, you guys at some level realize you've up here and there, you know that he's still on this like it's the world's fault, it's not mine.
Yeah,
he really is. He really is.
At the end of the day, you can say whatever you want to about me or Jordy or Rich, Review Tech USA, whoever, whatever locale you want to point at. Feel free to point your fingers and laugh, but just know at least we have more self-awareness than
Dark
Phil.
And
Darkside Phil.
I can pick my wife up and Phil can't.
It's terrible. Why do you hate Phil so much? I thought you were friends with Phil for a long time.
I don't hate Phil at all. I think Phil
hate
is
him at all.
He's an entertaining person. I think he's articulate. I think he's smart, but I think he is
Smart? Are you kidding me? That guy's one of the dumbest guys I've ever come across in my life. That guy's got an IQ of a hockey puck.
Me and you have differences, but like I don't think he's smart when it comes to like cars or anything like that. But like he's very articulate, he's very eloquent. He makes his points really well when talking about video games. Is he any good at video games? He's about average. Right?
He says everything sucks if he can't play it. He says everything sucks.
Well, people got mad at me because I said Helldiver 2 sucks, and like that's like the biggest thing out right now. And then, like it's a boring game, which I feel bad because they put me in the game. Like you can name a ship Wings of Redemption. Like I love when people reference me. Like it makes me feel good, makes you feel important. It's like, okay, I'm enough cultural significance that I can get a cameo in a video game. Yeah. So like most of the locals are just people with some type of like mental issue. Like they literally have no IQ or like
I don't think DSP has a mental issue. I just think he has like a low IQ. Above but below 3 digits. You know,
I mean, he just certainly lacks all the self-awareness.
If he showed DSP how to strip a rifle, do you think he could do it?
No, I wouldn't let that guy near a gun.
No, I'm not saying about it. There's no bullets. I'm just talking about just the act of like stripping a rifle down.
I think it would take hours to put it. I think it would take him hours.
Because like that
hours.
To me, that's the
I could
standard
sit down
for like
with him.
intelligence. Like that's the
really
military standard,
put a rifle
right?
together.
Like because like it's
not
moving
a standard,
parts.
but...
It's got springs and like that.
Okay, you got to. Anybody can put a gun together. To be honest with you, I don't. With
no,
him,
that's not true. Like McNamara in Vietnam tried to put like really low IQ people in the military, and they couldn't do basic tasks like strip a rifle, like run any kind of like hand machinery, like pull the handles for like artillery guns and shit like that. They couldn't do it.
I don't know. Everything in the military is like stupid proof.
Well, it has to be because they want the lowest IQ people available to be in the infantry.
Yeah, no, it's not that. First of all, you asshole. That's not the way it is. I will say they do kind of dumb down everything. So guys with low IQs can function, but it's not so we can get the stupidest people. I mean, I gotta be honest with you. Some of the smartest people I've met in my life, a lot smarter than you two dopes, were infantrymen. You know, geez, I met. Look, I'll be honest. I met the stupidest people in my life. Not as bad as DSP though. I gotta be honest with you. I don't think I've met anybody as stupid as DSP.
What do you think DSP is stupid for though? Like honestly, what has he done?
The constant bad decisions. It's just like every week. Like if there's a fork in the road, right, and one of the forks has like hellfire and brimstone and explosions, and the other one says safety, and he'll always take the left and go to the hellfire and brimstone. I think that's stupid.
But I know doctors that make bad choices every day of the week. But
every day of the week.
Every single day.
No, I'm talking about like financial. I'm talking about like financial decisions. Like they'll buy.
But they'll be out of business after a while, and they suck at their job. Like there's no matter what, it's a bad decision. No matter what. I mean, even like Turkey Tom covered some of his decisions that he made. His dad got him a decent job, and he f***ed that up too. You know, I mean, how many times can you f*** up? Yeah, it was a good job, man.
Yeah, I wish I had that kind of job to fall back on. My daddy ain't gave me shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
I bet you wouldn't have f***ed up like that. Jesus Christ.
You know, I generally think there's 2 types of people in this world. I think what separates us from the animals is that we have the awareness that we can think, right? And I think self-awareness is everything that makes a human. But a lot of us go through
Elephants
lives,
are self-aware.
Are they?
Yes.
Are they aware that they are thinking?
Dolphins are. If you put I know this because I'm an animal.
Well, I think
if you put an elephant in front of a mirror, they'll open their mouth and check their tongue and stuff because they've never seen it before.
Well, I think that means an elephant's smarter than Darkside Phil because I think Darkside Phil just does what his emotions and his brain tells him to think, and he doesn't apply.
So dolphins are self-aware. He's definitely not smarter than a dolphin. Elephants are self-aware. Magpies are self-aware. They're actually one of the smartest animals in the world, and they're like common as. And like a certain type of macaws, African greys, certain types of birds are self-aware. That's about it.
You know what the dumbest thing I ever thought Phil did was? He leased a BMW and he never changed the oil the entire lease because the car didn't tell him to.
Come on. How smart can he be? How can you tell me he's eloquent?
He is eloquent, but it's like how do You not know to change the oil in your leased car?
He didn't tell me. It should have gave me a message on my phone. I don't know. That's a retard, man. Come on.
Oh. I mean, I did that to my first car because I was broke and they wanted money to change oil.
That's a little different.
A little bit different. I was like, I knew I was driving to the ground, but we paid $500 for it. So who gives a
Yeah, who cares?
My brother had a truck that he never changed the oil in, but he had an oil leak, so he had to keep putting oil in it, so it was all good.
I had to do that when I was a teenager. I had a car like that. I had to keep doing it until I ran into the ground. Yeah,
just change the oil filter every year. You're good.
Oh, my daddy didn't teach me how to change the oil filter. He's a moron. Come on, guys.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah.
All right, everybody. Thanks for being a part of LoCal Live, baby. And we got the we got live streams with Keemstar during the week, and of course here on Sunday. You can check us our pre-recorded. Hopefully we'll have Josh on soon. I doubt it. And definitely Action Man.
Action Man. We also have another guest in the wings that we're hoping. We don't want to clarify yet.
You want to be a wrangler? If you want to tend to the cows, you want to be a big old cowboy. Get in touch with Wings of Redemption. If you're like famous and we can like get clout off you or something. Yeah. There you go.